The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
You know, out in Nevada near the silver mines, there's a kind-hearted woman. She's looking so fine, always taking care of her community. Bringing folks together is her cup of tea. She's out on the road and all over the web with a big smiling heart. It's about town, Deb.
And welcome to this week's episode of City Talk, and I'm About Town Deb, your host, Debbie McCarthy, with Britton Griffith, the amazing Reno's superstar, and my good friend. I am so happy that you're here.
I am too. I'm excited to be here and excited this is the last time we'll have to talk in 2020.
I know. That's why, you know, the show was titled Goodbye 2020.
Good riddance 2020.
And
I'm okay
hello, 2021. Oh my gosh. And Christian with Fenix Media, thank you for being our amazing engineer. You can visit fenixmedia.us to get more information about our shows or any other shows. And you can 24/7, you could go there and you could text me 775-741-2596. And Jazzy Georgia is manning one of the pages. So Jazzy Georgia, thank you. She's at home. So we'll say hi to her wherever you are. And I also, before we start, we want to thank the people that make this happen, like Kim Surratt with Surratt Law Practice. Hi, Kim. We love you. And we have a new sponsor coming on next week. Kirk Allure with Gratis Gives Processing. I told you a little bit about it. How cool is it that when you do all your credit card processing, you get to pick like 1 to 2 charities that are local? Like, who wouldn't do that? So I'm excited.
Why wouldn't you do that?
I'm actually
easy way to get back when you have to do it anyways.
Anyway, like no matter what you charge, like if you have a business. So I'm not that I'm big bucks, but I think their motto is like the little bits. You take a lot of little bits and it helps out. It all adds up.
Have one group that we're all trying to help, you know, for one big campaign they've got going on, or, you know, one give back thing that they've got in, you know, a certain month of the year, and we can all make sure that we all use, what is it called again? Gratis gives. Yes. So, and Caliber Hair and Makeup Salon, of course. I know you look so good. This is your Khaleesi year.
This is it.
You're the mother of dragons this year.
I have been this year. So when we talk about that, you can remind us about that. And anyway, but I want to thank them. And Dee James, he came on board this year with the song, and it takes a while to get it. I don't know, you call it published? What do you call it when you record it? It's not published, but when what's it called? I wish Christian could talk to us. He would know everything. He would know. But anyway, but you can check out Dee James online, ddjames.com. And anyway, he's in the process of that. So those are our thank yous for right now. But you know what? There's just a lot. 2020.
I know 2020 was I don't even know what to call it. It was the apocalypse.
I think so.
It was apocalypse. We had a lot of people that joked with me over the year that it was like a really boring apocalypse. Like my whole life, I assumed I'd be a part of the end of the world, and it would be something like zombies or a meteor, or, you know, something more exciting than what just you have to sit at home and be sad and miss your friends and watch businesses close. And so it was like a really slow burning apocalypse, but it's and there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I believe it.
Speaking of the light at the end of the tunnel, I got to be a part of this really cool thing yesterday. It's a new campaign. It's called Hopefulcities.org.
I heard about this. Tell me
more. Think about it. I was honored to participate. It was the first ever in the world, but Reno, Hopeful City, it's a global free challenge, a free global, free global
challenge. Okay.
Challenge. And you know, right now we all need hope. You were talking about the apocalypse and all that.
We need some hope.
There's so many people right now who are struggling. Like they're thinking, how am I going to get through this year? How did I make it through this year? What's going to happen next year? And you know what? We need to have hope. We need to have faith. We need to show kindness. And we need to, as I say, together with one heart, we need to like have a light that shines. I know I got mine on too, and I'm sure Jazzy Georgia does. But really, we invite all of you, if you're listening, no matter where you are in the world, to go to globalhopechallenge.com, globalhopechallenge.com, and take the challenge with me. It's a 30-day. I have to like catch up. I did the first day. I have to
That's fair. It's okay.
I have to do today. I'm being open and honest.
Yeah.
But it gives you every day there's a video and there's some like not really homework, but it gives you something to think about and something to help and how to
That's
you know,
a nice way to start the year. That's like a little New Year's resolution type thing to do.
So it's kind of like it's the first ever. So I'm taking it and it's free and it's going to help me develop my skills to create, maintain, and grow hope in the future.
Oh, I really
and
like
we
that.
all do that. So I want to make sure that even though we've had some craziness going on,
it was crazy.
So I'm just
That's
gonna
a good reset button. I like that. What a good
hope.
Hopeful way to kick off 2021.
It's a good way, and we all need to do that. So I know we only have like 2 minutes left, but let's just go ahead and start with this one. So what was the best, most single thing that happened to you this year?
You know what?
Or that happened this year? Maybe not just to you. What's something that made you go, wow?
You know what?
Out of all this,
I think the best thing that we did. Do you remember when we did that getaway shoot, and it highlighted the community champions? So it wasn't the shoot that was the great part, although that was wonderful. You guys are the only reason I would get up at 5 a.m. Especially
I know, me too.
The world is shut down and time doesn't matter. But it was such a good representation to show that even though everybody was in these trying times and was, scared or losing their businesses and losing their homes, getting sick potentially, there were these people that were underground working that whole time, like Courtney Meredith and Kay and Kevin Stanley and Granite Street and Mark SC and yourself and Grant Denton,
and
that
you
just like kept plugging along, and they this whole time had been fighting for their community and building people up and saving their businesses and saving jobs and creating Feed Our Heroes and creating Reno Resilient, and to see that. And to be reminded that there were people that this entire year had been fighting to help others, I think was really the great thing, because it highlighted so much of the little pieces, like you mentioned earlier. The little pieces are what add up. And people, and then we also saw how many of those individuals, when you line them up, you're like, oh yeah, they work with them. Courtney's over here, Mark works with Kay and Kevin, and you got to see how everybody integrates offline. Even though we were separate, we were really working
together with one heart. So with that, we're going to take a quick break. It's already that time. So we're with City Talk. Britton and Deb, be right back.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com, brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m. and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 68. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Now more than ever, family matters, and Surratt Law Practice has your family in mind. Kimberly Surratt and her team have been helping maintain healthy families through their holistic approach to adoption and surrogacy, child custody, estate planning, and more for over 13 years. Your family law concerns are in caring hands with Surratt Law. Schedule your private consultation with a compassionate Surratt Law Practice team member today by calling 775-636-8200 or visiting lawyersforfamilies.com. Surratt Law, where family matters.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us.
She's out on the road and all over the web with a big smiling heart. It's About Town Deb.
My town, your town, or any town, this is About Town Deb presents City Talk. Now, back to the show.
And welcome back to the second segment of City Talk. Oh my gosh, Britton.
That song is so cute. Okay,
I
so
love that song.
that song because I love that song and it's so adorable. What was your best thing of 2020?
You know what? My best thing of 2020 was Together We're One Heart.
That's a good one.
I remember in the very beginning and when all this happened, you were out there and you were delivering meals and doing all this and packaging things up at Urban Market without the team. And I'm like, and at that point, I had a lung thing going on, and I literally, I coughed for 2 years straight, and then all of a sudden COVID hit, and I stopped. I got healthy. Isn't that crazy? But they told me I couldn't do that because I had to just keep.
I remember we had to keep you it was like protect Debbie at all costs.
Protect Debbie. And then I'm like, somehow a miracle happened, and I got well. And I thought, what can I do? And this is something that I felt I could do to contribute, to put them in the different stuff.
Chewy's was always so good about it.
Everybody was. And Granite Street.
Granite Street.
It was good. And also, Surratt. We were talking about Surratt earlier.
We miss Surratt.
I know, we miss her. She jumped right in, and she's a part of the HIP. What's it stand? Hospitality.
In partner, I'll look it up on our break.
Look it up on our break. But anyway,
another thing,
so it was good. We're very blessed that we have so many cool people. So that would be mine. And so let's do a cheers to our amazing community, and not just our community, all the communities out there. Which way? That way? Let's try it. Do it again. How do we go? How do I go? I don't know. Where are you? I don't know. I can't. I don't know. Okay. I'm seeing you there. Okay. Anyway, but I don't want to do that. And we're also cheersing with the new About Town Deb Red 2018.
That's what I'm drinking.
Red blend. And
it's so good. You guys,
it's amazing.
This is going to be, now it gets to be distributed, which is, I think this might be my other best part of 2020. But About Town Deb, this wine is so good, you guys. We got to sample it here at the house. We got some of the first, I think we got some of the first.
So what number? What number is that bottle?
So this one's number 8 out of 100, which is really cool. So this one we didn't open. We're saving this one for.
We're gonna save that one.
But we cracked the other ones and.
Yeah. So if you two want an amazing wine to drink on New Year's, you can go to abouttowndeb.wine. How easy is that? And it'll take you to Crystal Basin. It's a blend, Merlot, Zinfandel,
and they'll ship it.
It's included. It'll come right to your door. Yeah,
that's helpful.
Great.
That's the reason we always like my girlfriends. I like those wine clubs because, especially when we were on lockdown, they'll ship it right to your doorstep. And now we have something that is tried and true that we love, and they'll bring it right to your door. Shipped.
And the good news is we are officially, Jazzy George and I signed the contract. So we are distributed by Reno Wine Distributors. So we already have a local Reno business who's already called and said, hey, we want your wine. We need your price list. So if you're a business out there where, you want our wine, we would love to have it on your menu or on your shelf. So that way people can go get it.
See you. I want to see you. Where do I always go? I always do my Urban Market. Co-op. And then I'm always at Napa Sonoma at Plumgate.
So and also I also
get in those.
We want them also Whispering Vine.
And
that would be a good spot.
I love them too.
Because those are where we all hang out. And there, somebody mentioned actually, and Kevin Stanley mentioned craft. He said that would be a good spot too.
Craft.
And they
is
mentioned
one of the original parklets.
Yeah, and so that's right. I remember.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I was there for. Was I there for the first one?
You were there
over by Nellie's.
And
I remember.
did
So
ribbon cutting with you. Yeah.
we have been there. We've been together. It's been a while. So anyway, guys, we wanted to do a toast with that. So that was mine. Was Together We're
That's
One
a
Heart.
good one.
But I know you've had good stuff. What was your most What was your most challenging struggle last year or this year?
So I think there was a lot of stuff that was negative, and it's easy to focus on that. So, we'll stay in the positive realm, but
yeah,
when we ran that political campaign, and it really, it's very exposing on the social media side of things. So I had to really learn how to deal with the, cyberbullying and stuff as an adult. And so it was a very eye-opening thing of how many kids are dealing with this as you grow up and you're in middle school. Like, that's not hard enough to be in the 8th grade. And the things that people will say to you, you almost want to call them and ask for their mother's phone number and see if they know they talk like this to people. But getting over that was being able to disassociate them being kind of just, robots of, people that they're not even real. I mean, I had most of my trolls I had some from Kansas City and Canada. But kind of
Canada. Why would they come from Canada or Kansas City?
I will tell you offline the things they said to me.
Okay,
it was
that's crazy.
It was disturbing. So kind of seeing that and getting over that, but then also getting to realize that that's what so many of our kids are dealing with this. And if I was a 13-year-old and the 13-year-old life that I had, which was really good, but to be bullied like that online would just be terrifying. So I think that was a good eye-opening experience. It's something we hear about on the news, but to have it happen to you as somebody that's grown and can, kind of push that aside and say, okay, well, this isn't real questions or real issues. And to think about what these 14-year-olds have to wake up to was a poor thing, but a good eye-opener, and trying to figure out ways that we can help stop the cyberbullying for younger people.
Well, I would think now it's even more so because everybody's online and you're not actually the kids aren't face to face. They're all texting and Zooming and you're not with them. And
one screenshot and they,
and it's done. Like you can
forever.
But I think we need to realize that as adults too.
Yes.
Anything you put out there, it is out there. And this year, as you know, not just kids, adults, businesses, all the different realms, everybody has been so comfortable throwing stuff out there on the screen. And then you realize you can't take it back. So I really feel like if there's one thing I've learned is that really you need to think before you speak. You need to look before you send.
That keyboard, I don't know what it's like. I think it's an invisible cloak and people just get online. They blast people.
Yeah.
And I think we did see some people suffer from that in our community that spoke too soon, spoke too harshly. And they were called out, which I think is a really good takeaway for that, is if you see it, it's okay to see something and say something and to say, maybe back off, or, this isn't, even if you're not in the thread that you're arguing, but to offline send something to somebody, say your facts are off, or can you reach out to this person? So that was something that was really a hard thing to get over and a negative, because we were already dealing with such a crisis and trying to help people that to hear such awful, really disturbing things from some people of what they would do to you or say to you, in a time like 2020, that you're like, really, we're gonna say vulgar things like this on the internet when we should be helping people. So that's kind of part of where our community campaign came from. Compassionate Commerce all comes from, is you got to put that stuff just out and then start bringing it back to what the real cause is and what the real issues are. So I could say that was the most unexpected and bad thing of the year, just because it hit me from left.
Well, yeah.
And it was all day, every day.
So let's go with something. What was your something joyous that you didn't plan? I think I know one of them, but
I know you know one of them.
One of them, him.
Yeah, I think he was probably the most joyous
surprise. Like, hello.
Yeah. So the best surprise, is definitely Brian. And then I think the other best surprise was, I didn't get to see them as much as I'd like, but my girlfriends all have babies, or had a baby. My girlfriend Ingrid had a baby during the COVID apocalypse. And
congratulations.
So welcoming him and getting to see all of them get older and bigger. And start to engage with one another is such a special, sweet thing. So that was another unexpected things. You forget that little Connor, Courtney and Chris's little Connor.
I know, my gosh. I know. So I have an unexpected joy that is going to seem very like simple, but I loved it. So I live in Reno on a cul-de-sac, and my neighbor next door, they have a granddaughter, and she is just like full of vinegar and energy. And she's a spokesperson for the neighborhood now. And in the summertime, they did cul-de-sac movies. So her dad got this projector, fancy one, and they would put the paper up on the garage door, and I'm right next door. And she would go around and knock on, hello, it's going to be time for movie night. Do you want to go, Miss Debbie? And so we would all like bring our beach chairs, and everybody would put on their robe and PJs and slippers. Cute. And we would all sit in our little spot, and they would have the whole like booming like speakers, like big speakers. And we would watch a Disney movie. And she had a little store she would do. So she sold rocks. And I had these little rocks that say faith, hope, love. And then I would bring the, licorice. I love licorice. And the neighbors all got to know each other. Yeah, that's nice. There was other little kids, and we all stayed in our little bubble. And I just thought that really brought me joy, like to watch a Disney movie and see it through the eyes of the other little kids in the neighborhood. That to me was priceless. Like it's Saturday night. Are we having a movie? They're like, About Town Deb, you want to sit in your front lawn with a blanket in your PJs and watch? Of course I do. Yes.
That everybody wants to do.
I think for me, it brought back memories of how it used to be, families being together. So that would be my ear thing just went out. So I'll pick it up at break. But that would be one. So, oh my God, it is another quick break. What the heck?
The break
we want your feedback.
Had gone this far.
I know, this fast.
They're this fast.
We want you to head over to About Town Deb Facebook page, leave a comment, and we'll be right back. It's About Town Deb and Britton Griffith. We'll be right back.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool, and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets, and they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopRex.org, brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Hello, Kubo. What have you got planned for today?
Come on, this way.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
It's the most powerful magic there is.
Head outside to discover incredible animals.
Wow.
And beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure. So grab your loved ones and explore a world of possibilities. Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
My teacher said that we should have a plan in case of an emergency. Do we have one?
First thing I'm gonna do is grab a flashlight with dead batteries.
I'm going to start randomly throwing clothes in the bag. You two will be hiding in the closet and Dad won't be able to find you.
And that's when we both start crying.
Uncontrollably. Can you pass the cutlets?
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency, who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311. Brought to you by the New York City Office of Emergency Management and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Listen live at phoenixmedia.us.
You know that's what she said. Come on, let's have some fun with About Town Deb.
My town, your town, or any town, this is About Town Deb presents City Talk. Now back to the show.
And we're back for the third segment of City Talk. And I'm About Town Deb. Only the third.
And we have so much to talk about for 2020.
And like we totally have so many notes, and I put way too many notes, but that's okay because we looked over break and figured out some more cool questions. But before I get to that,
we were so
prepared
how many we would get through today.
I know. But I do want to give my normal shout out to Grandma B and Aunt Glenda. So Aunt Glenda and Ellie got me these earrings.
They're so
like
cute.
A heart. Together we're one heart. And they're really big. And
they're
so
adorable.
I had to go get my hair done just so that I can show on the one side.
I know, it's like
so
my little.
I love. Oh my God, I love.
I got this with
Do
my
you have
girlfriend.
a braid? It looks
no,
like,
I just.
it's that.
So
it
this
looks
is for the girls. If you're watching, Michelle and Megan and Ingrid and Laura. So years ago, when we got to go out and live our lives at music festivals, I got this one year in. So I was thinking about my girls when I got dressed today.
I am glad. See, we all have memories of all the cool things that we were able to do.
Yeah.
But
so
during
what did you read this year.
Oh my gosh. The 4 agreements. So I don't know whether you guys know, last year, at the end of the year, I said to Jazzy Georgia, I'm going to take January off, not knowing that this was all going to happen.
Right.
And one of my best friends, amigo, Rick Miner, he had an extra ticket randomly to go to Belize.
Oh my gosh.
He's like my best friend. He's like a brother, and he totally worries about me. So he signed this book. He said, Debbie, follow your heart, Rick.
Oh, how
and
cute.
I read the 4 agreements while we were in Belize, and it's worth just reading just what they are, because this totally changed. It changed my life.
Your life. Yeah,
it changed my life. Be impeccable with your word.
Yes.
Don't take anything personally, which I was doing. Don't make assumptions, and we all do that.
We all do that.
Always do your best. And Papa Tony would say to me, darling, are you doing your best? Well, then you're good. So this book here really, 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 really got me going for 2020. And I think if I had not read this, 2020 would have, I would have been not who I am today.
Yeah.
So this one, and now there's the Master of Love, the Master of Self. And then I gave my son the other one, which was the 4 agreements. And then there was another one that was right after it.
That's right. I can't remember now, but I think I've read that one.
The 5th agreement.
The 5th agreement.
The 5th agreement was the practical guide to self-mastery. And I gave that one to my son. But the whole idea is that he gifted this to me, and he said, I want you to get one and gift it to somebody else who might need it. So that was mine. Do you have a favorite?
So my sister, last New Year's Eve, we went to San Diego. Same. I wish I would have paid more attention how beautiful that ocean looked.
I know.
But she got me The Witch Doesn't Burn in this one.
What is that?
So it's really good. It's a group of essays and poetry about, feminism and standing up to your truth and, standing your ground and just being a strong female for both yourself, but also the community and the young women that are to rise from the ashes. A little bit of a Phoenix story, which is, it was kind of a premonition of what the year ended up looking like for me. But I got to read out of it at the Women's March as one of their speakers, which was really cool. And so I wouldn't have had that opportunity or been kind of, shown a little bit of extra strength and courage had it not been for my sister and her book.
I feel like our family, so talking with, I'm just going to throw this, and that's why we don't get as much done, because you just have to talk about what hits you at the moment.
I know.
So Jazzy, George, and I were talking, and we've said it to Courtney. may have even said it to you. We feel like this year, the women and the men, not just women and men who have been with us for the last 5, 6, 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years.
10 years. But through all of this, through this craziness all year, we can look around at a table or look in a Zoom meeting and go, 1, 2, we know we're all here. We're all here. And the people, like I don't know what the phrase is, you're in your life for a season or a reason or a week.
Oh, I like that.
What is there? But there's a book or there's a saying where somebody comes in your life, but we need, Christian, if you're listening, look it up and I got to post that later. But like people come into your life and it may be like a day. Right. And they give you wisdom and you're like, wow, like, oh my, I really needed that.
Yeah.
Other people stay for years and you're like, okay, like what, I learned something there. So we don't know why, but I feel like we have a core group of people who have been with us, no matter where we've up and down and picked us up and helped us, walked besides us. And at the end of the day, we're still here together. And we've kept this path, even though like sometimes we think where the heck are we going? We end up on the same road. So I feel like 2020 has brought us where we need to be at the moment. And when 2021 comes in, you need to look around you and go, you're still here.
Right. And who's in your boat, right?
And who's in your boat?
Who's rowing the right direction? Who's in the boat to help you? Who's
okay? So
you don't know about.
So Jazzy Georgia answered, reasons, seasons, or lifetime.
Oh, cute.
Thank you, Georgia. I think we all need, like you, I feel like I'm blessed because the people that are around us. It's a reason, we're a season, and I feel like we're going to be a lifetime. No matter where we are, we're going to be here. And we're here for everybody else as well. So that would be mine. So, and you said your book. Oh, here we go. Another one. Sometimes people come into your life for a moment, a day, for a lifetime. It matters not the time they spend with you, but how they impacted your life at that time.
Oh.
Unknowns. Christian, thank you. So we welcome you if you're listening, even if you're watching.
Send them in.
If you're watching a replay, post. We can't see it now, but when we rewatch it, we will see it in the comments. But I really feel that it's important that we need to think about that. And here's another one, an affirmation for, I'm just going to, because we're just going to go with this. An affirmation for the new year. So Jay Shetty is also somebody who's impacted my life this last year too. This was in my email today, and I love it because it fits what we're talking about. From this moment on, I understand that when I give love, I open myself to receive amplified love. When I show kindness, I open myself up to receive a deeper kindness. When I focus on the good, I open myself to receiving abundant goodness.
Oh, that's sweet.
And
that's a good
I feel like we all need to be aware of what's around us and open our hearts when we need to. Yeah, and guard it. We have to guard them sometimes as well. But anyway, but that's how I feel. So that we got the books done. So who were your most valuable relationships with?
So I think this year, I'm very lucky. I live up the street from my folks. I mean, like 10 houses away. So I think my family was the most important group. And my sister, who lives in Manhattan, she's an actress and musical theater artist. She got to come and stay with us when quarantine, because they were in lockdown long before we were. And she got here just in the nick of time before we went in lockdown. So we got to spend 9 weeks together.
Yes.
And
cool.
I'm a homegrown 5th generation Nevada. I've left Reno for law school, and that's it. So, in Scotland, I lived in Scotland for a while. So to get my sister home, who hasn't lived here since, I think she turned 18 and ran out the door and traveled to San Diego and New York City. So to get her to be home and to spend that time with her was really special. And she's back here now with her, with my brother-in-law as well, staying with my folks again so that he can see his mom over in Chico and she can see us for an unknown amount of time. So that was really nice to have them home.
I can't wait. I need to meet her.
Yeah,
I've been watching your photo.
I tried to get her on the show today.
What
actually.
the heck?
And it was too short of notice. But I was like, do you want to go to my kitchen? You want to go to my kitchen Zoom? Come on.
If she's here for a few weeks, we're going to have her on before she goes.
Then you'll see where all the cute and beautiful talent went. And see if we can get her.
Stop it. You have amazing talent. Don't even go there, young lady. I would say that my most valuable relationships are with everybody around me. Honestly, I honestly don't know if I can pick one. I feel like together we are one heart, and I don't know where I would be without people around me. And I said that to Georgia, I think this morning we were chatting. I was saying that sometimes you just feel like you just need to call up a friend, or you just need to talk to somebody. And if you're, I mean, I'm telling you, I just want to like be open and honest. So if you're listening, and we all have those, like you see us here, perky, we're happy, but you know what? There's days where none of us want to get out of bed.
You can call, my other person for this year and always is Courtney Meredith.
I know.
I call her. Hopefully she never gets mad at me. She knows where all the bones are buried and more, but she'll pick up the phone anytime, and at 1 a.m. or, midnight, or in a crisis at 6 a.m.
I love that. Sometimes I'll say, Courtney, I just didn't want to bother you. Stop it. Like, and I think we need to realize that people who are our friends who say, hey, I'm here when you need me. We don't say that because we just want to say it.
Right.
So I think we need to realize, if you're listening and you're having that year that's been totally like not what you expected, it's okay. Like, we want to be happy, but I want people to realize that just because you see us perky.
Well, it's the Instagram effect, right? Everything.
It is, but we're not. There's days when we just want to keep the covers over our head. And there's days like this morning, I called Georgia, I said, Georgia, I'm just having a really weird day. Like, what the heck? Yeah. And she's like, okay. Like, she just gave me a pep talk. And I'm like, I have to show today. Yes. But I think that we all need to realize that it's okay to not be 100% all the time. So
it's
next
okay to
year,
not be okay. And the more that we talk about that and spread the word about that, I think the more open people can be. And I think that was a lot of stuff that came out because we were so much online this year.
Yeah.
And people got to kind of start to respond to that in the last couple of weeks.
See us in our home. See us.
And people said, I see all this online and I'm starting to feel bad about myself, or I'm not understanding why I'm so behind. And I reached out to a couple of people, or we had offline discussions, and I said, but that's a very curated, you're looking at somebody's museum that they spent a lot of time on, and they have filters for. And I said, you don't get to see that they didn't sleep for 2 days because they've got a brand new baby, or they have makeup under their, or, they had to sleep at the office, or, they had to, try to keep their staff going, or they had somebody in their family that they lost this year that they're not talking about. So there's so much that when we look at the social media scale, you see, perfection, because that's the point.
But we're not.
It's therapeutic even for you if you're having a bad day to put something positive out there. So it's a good reminder that things are not how they look.
Always look. So we are like how we look right now, but we're going to take our first and final break. We'll be right back with City Talk about Deb and Britton Griffith. We'll be right back. Hang tight.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Now more than ever, family matters, and Surratt Law Practice has your family in mind. Kimberly Surratt and her team have been helping maintain healthy families through their holistic approach to adoption and surrogacy, child custody, estate planning, and more for over 13 years. Your family law concerns are in caring hands with Surratt Law. Schedule your private consultation with a compassionate Surratt Law Practice team member today by calling 775-636-8200 or visiting lawyersforfamilies.com. Surratt Law, where family matters.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable, but how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
How's it going?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you going to shake my hand?
I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us.
Ready to help from her toes to her head. Just give her a shout. Call About Town Deb.
My town, your town, or any town, this is About Town Deb presents City Talk. Now back to the show.
And we're back for the fourth and final segment.
I just noticed our necklaces are matching too.
I know. We're like, are you wearing black top too?
We were. Yeah, I have a black top on. We're in sync today.
We are now. Actually, we are told. Look at we got it. We got it all.
Wristbands matching.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It goes by way too fast. So we've been talking about some of the stuff that may not be as positive, but we still found positiveness in 2020. But we thought we want to leave you with this segment with some ways that you could jump into 2021 with a happy heart. And knowing that no matter what,
just bury 2020 behind us and just leave it.
Push it.
Leave it to go.
I know. And we all make resolutions, and sometimes by the end of the halfway of January, we've forgotten them. But I started my year last year, like in March, with lots of challenges and lots of stuff. And it really did help me. So I know that I want to spend more time outside, even if it's cold. I'm going to bundle up, and that really helped me get through 2020 walking. Yep. And I've been using the excuse that it's cold, and that's not an excuse. You can bundle up. So that would be, I need to walk again more, and I'm going to get back on my isogenics. I
love that one. That's a good one. I know the isogenics. I'm going to do this.
Really, okay, you need to do it.
Kea, we're going to do it.
Your guys are going to do it because Kea does it too, and she doesn't need to. She's like totally good.
They're right so now. Tiny. It's so beautiful, but they're good inspiration. I'm going to make them my background on my phone, and then I'll. And we're going to do that. So outside is for me. What's one of yours? I like the outside one, and then the other one that we kind of talked about was creating memorable moments.
Yes. So
I think
share a little.
I mean, it kind of all blurred together. And so, I mean, what I remember is really specific, trips and moments in 2020 that got me through the sad times. Even we went to Genoa for a small getaway, went down to Las Vegas for a little bit to see my family privately. So things like that seem like a really short weekend, like a Friday to Sunday kind of thing, but they make the biggest impact on a whole year. So focusing on that and trying to find some really special ways to spend, even if it's just a couple days with people that
I agree with that. I think that taking the vacations when people, even if they're like a long weekend or just a day away, a staycation,
one day we'll anything. Do one massage, one cup of coffee, one glass of wine, and doing it outside with people is really, makes a big gap.
But I think the whole stress is we've all had so much like pushing us down.
Yep.
And I think that and supporting our local businesses. So like if you didn't take that big vacation and you have a little bit maybe extra saved, then go with your girlfriends, go with your daughter, go with your daughter-in-law, go with your son, get a pedicure, go get a spa.
So many great places to be going. And I think what happens, we talked about this on the break, but you think sometimes in your brain as you're planning, January is another big budget month, right? I'm going to save money. I'm going to do these things and take away. But shopping local is not more expensive.
No.
It's really not. You can do that on just as good a budget if you go to one of the big box stores, and instead you can support groups like Wandering Wild. Black Rabbit Mead was one of the ones that we got to have.
Nevada Sunset, just in time for New Year's.
But the Great Basin Co-op, you can become a member there. You get 20% or 10% off, I think, every month. Urban Market, you become a member, you get 10% off too. So they're just the way better experiences too.
Well, I could totally tell you that. I mean, I know everybody's trying to do more online, but I really feel like if you're able to go, call in, they'll deliver it to your car. They'll do whatever they need to do to help you, because they are local and they really do care about us. And I feel like if we know that we're making a difference with somebody, it's only going to make us feel better too. Like we're impacting them and they're impacting our lives as well.
Yeah. And now Rounds is joined with Granite. So you can get 2 for 1. You could get dinner takeout at Granite and then breakfast Rounds all in the same order.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So there's a lot of places. So look out for stuff, but make sure that when you're choosing, because a lot of people go on their diets or they go on there, but you can still diet and be healthy and be on a budget and support our local businesses.
Or you can go to Mari Chuy's and they'll give you like the lettuce taco, or you can go to Wild River Grill and they have that amazing wrap with the chicken salad and the cranberries. Have it without the wrap. They'll do that. They'll make it a salad. So you just have to ask. And a local business will do that more. Learn something new. I think that I'm not very crafty. I haven't been snowshoeing. Is that what it's called?
I would like to go snowshoeing.
I want to go snowshoeing. I want to go, and I want to like those little chickadees that you see people.
They come into your hand.
So that should be a wish list that we should all do. That would be a fun thing. I want to do that. The other thing was do good.
Do good.
What do you? I think that doing good and being kind is doesn't cost you anything.
It's free.
So why not start 2020 out?
The biggest things you can do when you go shopping or when you go out is if you're not familiar with Karma Boxes in Grant Denton.
Oh yes, share about that.
Go on Instagram, go on Debbie or my Instagram. We've tagged them in multiple things, but go find Grant, go find the Karma Boxes. This is a really easy, no contact, no time required. You just drop goods that people in the community need in these Karma Boxes, and then people can figure out what's in them and can come and stop by. And sometimes there's books in them. Many times there's food. Sometimes there's, some sort of healthcare type products that are in there as well. Bandages
for women, there's personal hygiene,
for personal hygiene stuff for girls. So just coordinating with that and trying to help and see what they need is really, I'm just talking really easy, you guys, so easy. And it's really beneficial, and stuff like that's gone in the next day.
Well, you know what?
It goes to a good use quick.
So another one, I was looking at this website and it was saying rethink, reduce, and rejoice.
Yeah.
It says we're determined to make sure our favorite this is for a mountain town, but we are kind of close to mountain, is around kids. So saying no to straws. I really do do not like a paper straw, but I get it. Ditching the plastic bags. And you know what? Pick up after yourself and your pet. Just pick up. And Mike Owen with Crystal Basin would say to me, pick up trash. If you're walking somewhere, well, I guess you need to have a glove on because all this craziness, but don't litter. Do not litter. Let's just try to make it better.
Treat and then the other, like Burning Man's playa, leave no trace.
I agree.
If you can do something, my dad always does that. He's always picking up trash when we're walking around and he dumps it right away. But the straws, I hate straws. If I could get rid of straws, that would be one of my top 10 wishes. And the other thing that a lot of people don't think about, the new straw is your face mask. So if you do use face masks and you use reusable ones, make sure to cut the strings on the side.
Okay,
I know. I didn't know.
What do you mean? I don't know what you mean.
So when you wear them, the post that goes around your ears, the stretchy parts, make sure to cut them before you put them in the trash, because they're getting stuck just like those bottles do. Those
I didn't know that.
Around birds and fishes.
I thought we were supposed to use it as a straw. I'm like, how do we do that?
No, it's the new straw. They're everywhere. They're flooding the oceans. They're flooding. So everyone has to wear their mask. But that's something to think about that I was not admittedly doing. I didn't know that until recently that we were supposed to be.
Did not know
I just didn't even think about it.
Oh my gosh.
So
what the heck?
Don't
cut those up.
Masks.
Well, I actually don't use I use material ones that I wash.
Yeah, I have yours. So together we are one.
See, we have this. Oh my gosh, it's that time. Together we are one.
That's what I have too.
I do that. So, and if you purchase these, you can message me. It will be on my website, but we're working on that. But I can make sure you get them, and half the proceeds go to Children's Cancer Foundation.
I love that.
And we're heading to the end of the show. Before I forget, we want to wish you all a happy
new 2021, and whatever hardships you had in 2020, just let it go. Like the Frozen Disney movie, just let it go, say goodbye, and welcome and a new glorious tomorrow.
And if it doesn't happen right away, don't worry. Have hope, have faith, and be kind.
Don't put a lot of pressure on yourself for January. Just we're still in survival mode. So let's just.
And then before we go into our last shout out about we need to still support local, I just want to say tune in next week because we're going to be, oh my gosh, it goes too fast. We're going to be talking with Tahoe Blue, Chris DeMay. Aren't they good? And Molly Lagoy, talking about spending cozy Sundays with, Bloody Marys and mimosas and local coffee and food and how to spend the day on a Sunday with your family. So that's next week. But we also want you to go to @Reno Loves Local.
Yes,
Reno does love.
And thank you, Rachel, for this.
And whatever town you're in, support local, because we're not just about Reno here, we're about the whole world. So support them, and consider buying a gift local. Even if your budget permits, that is, and tag your local places. Even if you just do that,
that's the other thing, if you just
give them exposure
and expose them with your friends and family and your network, that helps.
Yeah. And we also want to give a shout out to Michael Tragash with Yelp. They've been really good all year putting together a list of different local restaurants and what to do. But what are some of your local places that you
my favorite places, Granite Street is my favorite. Liberty Food and Exchange, my favorite. Matt Pauley has a new place. If you guys are in the Jungle Reno, he has rebranded. So get down there, go see Matt and the team. They're so fantastic. And Napa Sonoma here. And
oh my gosh, it's that time. I think we may have a few seconds. So in those few seconds, we want to say again, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
So we're going to be back next year. Britton's going to be a regular. So get used to this beautiful face and her kindness. So remember, be kind, have hope, believe. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Cheers.